because I do believe that the coach is the catalyst for all that, because the coach is going to help you with some of those player evals if you got the right guy that knows what he's looking for when he's trying to help you, shop for the groceries per se. I need you to be focused on those things along with free agent signings. If I have any critique of Ryan and his tenure as being the Bears general manager, my critiques are mostly free agent signings. Not trades, not draft picks, free agent signings. The people that you have acquired in the offseason from other teams, or starting for Larry Ogunjobi, who failed a physical, who you try to give big bread to, you had to rescind the deal. That was your first draft pick, and he failed a physical after you gave him bread. Like, it was only voided because of the contract language. So it's like, I need your evaluation process to be better, and if that means getting rid of some of your friends to bring in some better eyes, I need you to do so. Because my fear this year is that the voice of reason is leaving the building. Ian Cunningham is getting a job this year, man. The dude was number 2 in Tennessee in interviews 2 years ago, and he get an interview every year. And eventually he gonna get his opportunity. And while I won't say he's the reason that things are the way they are as far as personnel decisions and this and the third, I think they balance each other out very well. And I think you need to be looking for his replacement in that regard, because I think he's leaving. And maybe in the same vein, while you're looking for his replacement, I think some of the other eyes around you need to be more dissenting eyes in terms of opinion, because I think you need to fine tune a couple things in those scouting departments or in those meeting rooms, so that we don't fall in love with people like Velus Jones, which is rumored you could have got a trade, you could have got a draft pick for. I don't care if it was a 7 pick and a bag of Fritos. You could have got that for Velus. Velus got cut 3 times since he got cut from us. So they tell you.
Do you remember that thing I told you about him devaluing players and killing their draft markets? There's another one.
Yeah.
Could have got something for Velus.
Because you built them up. You built them up. And that's why I agree with you.
Killing the value.
Okay. While I disagree, go ahead, Fax. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Question. So, are you of the thought that great players can flourish no matter the scheme or the culture, or are you someone who says our scheme and our culture is going to dictate whether or not we have, whether or not our great players show up well? Because I ask that question because does it matter what Ryan Post has done or what he will do next season if the coach can't get his job done, which is putting the people in a position to win? Because my argument is that players play and they can play outside. I think great quarterbacks, great players in general can cover up a lot of gaps and misfortune. But at the same time, I don't care who we put on the roster. If the coach can't take advantage and capitalize on that talent, it don't really matter. It does not matter what he does with these picks if we don't know how to use them, if we don't put those people in a position to win.
And so that's where I say that a great player transcends scheme, and he's able to navigate everything except for environment. Environment means a lot. See, person, like, do you think Steve Young is a great player?
Yes.
Okay, well, in Tampa Bay, he wasn't. Because they was lovable losers of football, and that environment totally suffocated him. And so while I argued and put the stomp out for Poles not hiring the previous head coach, it is totally, I don't care who does it. I got no clue who going to do it, and don't care. I'm blaming you, because this is your proverbial first hire, all on your own. You riding a bike with no training wheels, buddy. So if you get it wrong this time, pack your bags, kick rocks, because they're going to start adding up all the Claypools, all the Nate Davises, all the Velus Jones, all of the Tremaine Edmonds, for lack of a better for real. And then that's when they start making things like Montez and DeAndre sound more logical and rational to the naysayers when you don't get this right to put the players that we think are talented in a good position. Because while I do believe that in some ways Keenan was needed to be the safety blanket, I do not believe that the evaluation process holistically was done right, because we would have known from scouts and from coaching that Rome could do all of the things already. And I don't think we had traded for Keenan before we drafted Rome, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. I don't remember the timeline. But, like, if you had traded for Keenan already, I understand it.
Yeah, I think we did. I think we were traded for Keenan.
Okay.
Already.
So maybe you was thinking you didn't know if Rome was going to be there. I can go with theory on that one. As much as I like Keenan, and I'm not going to rail on the $20 million, I do believe that Rome does better in the slot. And if we're able to usher him into that, because he more short bursts and run after the catch with his movements, because I can watch plenty of YouTube video right now where he cutting you up in the first all intermediate routes. He is eating people alive where they know they're near him in terms of separation, and it's the deep routes besides the 9 that's really holding him back. And the person occupying that slot right now is said Keenan Allen. So while I agree with the thought process you had this year, I will have to say that it is a bad thing if you do re-sign him. So 4th round pick, I understand. I think in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't a failed experiment or a wasted pick. I don't think it's a re-signing. I think you need to cut bait on that one, because if you don't sign the right coach and you start to make all the other wrong free agent moves, everything that Shy Guy has emphasized in terms of things being bad can really turn into ugly, because we know how quick things snowball. And when people get public pressure on them to get rid of you, and now you have a higher up that you didn't have when you got the job, you never know how any of them things might go. So for me, that's just my closing thought on it. Next week, since I know it's the topic that we might have all info on, I know the Bears have had 19 rumored candidates. Go ahead.
I have an exact number for you. They have now interviewed, I believe today makes 13. Because
Okay.
they were at 11 yesterday. They did Arthur Smith and David Shaw today.
Mike McCarthy.